How you doing? I'm Callan and this is Slapped Ham. Today we're looking at some scary ghost footage that is bound to give you the chills. So hit that subscribe button and get ready for more scary content just like this.
Dark, deserted tunnels are the perfect place for scary ghost videos to be captured. In this particular tunnel, somewhere deep underground in Indonesia, an amateur ghost hunter manages to capture something truly creepy on film. Recorded in black and white, the video quality is grainy. However, it's still detailed enough to allow us to see into the inky blackness of the tunnel. The light from the camera illuminates one man sitting on a ledge alongside the wall, while a few yards away we can barely see the outline of an open doorway. It's in this doorway where the true creepiness begins. A few seconds into the clip, the man starts waving his arms in the air, as if attempting to get somebody's attention. Not long after, a light-coloured entity begins to form in the doorway. It never seems to take on a solid shape, looking more like a dense, wispy fog. It also appears to be confined within the doorway, almost as if it's trapped inside the room at the end of the tunnel. The ghost hunter who filmed this terrifying footage has never been identified, so no one knows any details about the location or what the ghostly apparition actually was. I'll throw this one out to the viewers. What do you think's been captured on camera deep within this tunnel? Could it really be a ghost? Or is there another explanation for this creepy footage? Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Twitter user @CheyenneRachel is no stranger to scary ghost videos. When her father started to feel like he wasn't alone while trying to sleep at night, he set up a camera to get to the bottom of these creepy feelings. However, what the camera actually captured was much more terrifying than he could have ever expected. According to CheyenneRachel, her father began to feel a strange presence in his bedroom late at night. He claimed that it felt like someone was sitting on the end of his bed or even pulling the covers away from him. Because he sleeps alone, these feelings were understandably disturbing. The footage shows a view of a man tossing and turning in his bed, likely unable to sleep due to the mysterious presence that he senses in the room. As he begins to settle down and get comfortable, the blankets on the bed suddenly begin to lift and move all by themselves. It's almost as if there's a ghostly entity under the covers with him. The bizarre motions occur twice in close succession before the covers gently settle onto the bed. The family's been unable to explain what the camera captured. So far, the ghost has only been a nuisance and not at all malevolent. Perhaps it's just looking for a cozy place to sleep. However, the entity doesn't seem to like it when the man tosses and turns in bed, so he might be wise to be a bit more peaceful at night to avoid angering his ghostly bedmate. YouTuber XHauntings is very familiar with scary ghost videos, creating a channel dedicated to the creepy and macabre. However, they may never have expected to capture any paranormal activity of their own. While doing some construction work in the basement of their house, it seems they've stirred up some potential ghostly residents. At first, everything seems quiet and normal. However, a few seconds into the video, the silence of the dark basement is interrupted by a chilling scream. In a slow motion replay, it becomes clear that the voice actually seems to be yelling the words, "Get out." Not long after the terrifying warning, the camera captures another unusual encounter. For a split second, we can see a streak of white light fly across the screen, almost as if fleeing the area from where the scream was heard. The slow motion replay does little to solve the mystery. The light's appearance is still vague, similar in shape to a speeding comet. It moves too quickly to make out any discernible features. The arrival of this strange ghostly light is quickly followed by an influx of orbs, small round spots of light that seem to hover in the air.
Oh, Hello. Oh my god.
Many believers claim that orbs are a common manifestation of ghostly activity that appear around supernatural hotspots. However, skeptics insist that orbs caught on camera are merely dust particles reflecting light. Whether or not you're a believer in the paranormal nature of orbs, one thing we can all agree on is that this footage is certainly chilling.
Oh my god.
In another clip from Indonesia, uploaded to the YouTube channel The Ghost Metalhead 666, we see some seriously scary ghost footage that was supposedly captured in a cemetery late at night. As the camera rolls, a mysterious figure makes its way into the frame. At first, it obviously appears to be a human dressed in a bright white robe that obscures any view of its face. The stooped figure continues to slowly walk across the screen. Then, after a few seconds, it jumps from the ground and into a nearby tree. According to the title of the video, the entity could actually be a pocong, a particular type of ghost found in Indonesia and Malaysia. According to the stories, pocong are the souls of deceased people who are still wrapped in their burial shrouds. It's said that these spirits are able to fly and possibly even teleport, much like the eerie apparition seen in this terrifying footage. When YouTuber and everyday Canadian began hearing scary sounds coming from his basement late one night, he probably wasn't expecting to also capture a scary ghost video. However, this footage really is nothing short of spine-chilling. As the clip begins, the uploader explains that the noises he was hearing started to freak him out because his kids were all upstairs asleep, and the washing machine that's located in the basement makes a completely different sound. He grabs a camera and bravely heads down the stairs to investigate.
And I'm gonna go down and check right now. This is freaky right now.
As he moves further into the dark underbelly of the house, the strange banging noises continue, making him reluctant to go any further.
Holy shit. Oh, what the f is that sound?
Suddenly, he hears a sound that causes him to turn around. Then, what looks like a child's toy trolley begins wheeling towards him, as if pushed by some unseen force.
What the f was that? What the f?
At this point, the video abruptly ends, preventing us from getting any additional clues about the ghostly activity. However, viewers have suggested that the entity is most likely a poltergeist, the only type of ghost thought to possess the power to move things in the physical world. Poltergeists are said to range from playful to downright dangerous, so this YouTuber might want to steer clear of whatever it is haunting his shadowy basement, until he has a better understanding of what its intentions really are.
What the f was that? What the f?
Before we get to that number one spot and take a look at some seriously freaky footage of a shadowy figure in a basement, remember to hit that subscribe button, then click that bell icon there. That way you can receive notifications about all our latest scary and creepy content. YouTuber Advil is another unfortunate soul who seems to have something spooky happening in his basement. While relaxing at home, he begins to hear voices coming from the lowest level of his house. At the top of the stairs, he calls out to the voice, warning that he's about to turn on the light.
I'm gonna turn on the light. Alright?
He then bravely heads into the basement, intent on making contact with the source of the sound.
Hello? Hello?
The uploader spends a few seconds circling the camera around the darkened room, while continuing to call out to the entity.
Nothing? Is anyone there?
However, nothing happens. The basement remains still and quiet. Then, just as he seems ready to give up, a glass cabinet suddenly begins to move on its own.
Whoa, Jesus!
Startled by the movement, the uploader quickly turns for the safety of the stairs.
Whoa, Jesus!
2 days later, the same YouTuber released another video on his channel. Apparently, the poltergeist that moved the basement shelf wasn't quite finished with its shenanigans. This clip begins in a similar manner to the previous one. As he calls out to the entity, an eerie whisper returns from the darkness.
I heard some noises again. Hello?
Then, moments later, a shadowy figure walks past the doorway. At first, it's difficult to see, and anyone who's not paying particular close attention will most likely miss it. However, if you zoom in and lighten the footage, you can clearly see there is indeed a dark figure lurking down below. It almost blends into the shadows of the basement, bringing to mind the ghostly shadow people that are sometimes said to haunt the nightmares of those unfortunate enough to see them. It's clear that whatever's in this basement is probably best left alone.
If you want to see some more scary videos, then check out that link on the top there. Otherwise, there's a massive playlist there that'll keep you entertained for hours and hours. Leave us a comment down below, hit that thumbs up button, and that's it for me. I'll see you all next time. Peace!